Hello everyone. Welcome to another awesome and interesting video from Kai5. Number 1. A strange new species of ants. Ants are one of the most ubiquitous and ingenious creatures to inhabit our planet. A resilient insect with more than 12,000 recognized individual species, ants have found a home on every continent except for Antarctica. Ants live in colonies, ranging in size from several dozens to millions. Colonies consist of reproducing queens, which can live for up to 30 years. Though every ant species has its own unique features, all the species do share a common morphology, consisting of a three-part body: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. Ants make up an impressive portion of Earth's biomass, and hence, it shouldn't come as a surprise that two new species of ants were unknown to mankind until recently. These new species are now named Phaedolbasarion and Phaedoldrogon. They are members of the Phaedol genus, a common one that can be found throughout the planet. Phaedol is a highly diverse genus of ants, with over 1,000 species recognized so far. The genus is commonly called big-headed ants. This is because Phaedol ants usually have huge heads and jaws to break up large food items. While these ants are known for their relatively large heads, Phaedolbasarion and Phaedoldrogon also sport impressive spikes on their backside. They have a strong resemblance to the dragons featured in the series Game of Thrones, thanks to the distinct blade-like serrations adorning their backs. Researchers felt that these spikes were like those found on dragons from the popular show Game of Thrones. Hence, the ants were named after the dragons appearing in the show. Entomologists previously assumed that the spikes on these ants' bodies was simply a defense mechanism. However, after using a 3D imaging technology called micro-CT, it was revealed that, in soldier ants of Phaedolbasarion and Phaedoldrogon, neck spines contain muscle fibers. Colonies of Phaedolbasarion and Phaedoldrogon ants consist of two types of ants, each physically specialized for performing specific tasks. The major ants have huge, muscular heads and a spiky body, presumably to give an image of a fearsome predator and fight off enemies and rival ants. And the minor ants, who work to maintain the nest and raise the young. This species of ants has evolved special skeletal-muscular adaptations just to support the extra weight of their heads. Researchers assume that the muscles in the spines may help these ants to hold up their massive heads. The Phaedoldrogon ants aren't as fearsome as they appear. They don't bite humans, and they don't take down prey. They are scavengers and collectors of seeds. They use their huge mandibles to chomp into thick seeds. The ants were observed in New Guinea, the second largest island in the world, a tropical ecosystem of incredible biodiversity. Number 2. Euophyllum kirkii. This discovery belongs to the Catadid family, also known as bush crickets, and was made near Borneo, the world's third largest island, and home to parts of Malaysia and Indonesia, with the nation of Brunei occupying a minuscule slice of the island. The Euophyllum kirkii was an accidental discovery found while researchers were on the hunt for snakes and spiders across Borneo. This species of Catadid is unique for the pinkish hue of their females. The Euophyllum kirkii female was spotted in a Malaysian nature reserve. Since it was discovered in a highly protected area, collecting permits could not be obtained, and no specimens were collected. The Catadid's name is derived from the man who photographed it, Peter Kirk. It measures approximately 4 centimeters. Euophyllum kirkii is amazingly leaf-like in appearance, including hind legs that are smaller, yet similarly leaf-like in shape and detail. Euophyllum kirkii's most striking feature is its use of color and mimicry to blend into the foliage. It mimics leaves to blend in seamlessly with its surroundings. For the female, this means its extraordinary pink backside is lined with veins resembling those from nearby trees. From the photographs, it's been confirmed that the males are uniformly green and the females are mainly pinkish-red with bright green patterning. Researchers say that the females hide and maybe feed on young, red leaves, whereas the males evolved green camouflage so they can hide in more places while they are roaming around looking for females. Number 3. Arrivixia gryffindori. Arrivixia gryffindori is a spider species found in 2015 in India's southwestern state of Karnataka. The spider has an oddly shaped brown patterned body that rises from a wide base to a tapered, bent peak above the spider's back, disguising it as a dried-up leaf. The spider's shape, from its brownish hue to its curvature at the top, resembles the Sorting Hat from the Harry Potter movies. That is why its name features the word Gryffindor. Author J.K. Rowling even tweeted out her congratulations to the researchers after their find. The spider is part of the Oryvixia genus, part of the Aranidae family, which consists of orb weaver spiders, known for spinning webs with circular weaves. Oryvixia gryffindori measures in at just 7 mm, which helps explain how it eluded discovery for so long. The researchers found the female spider about 1.2 meters off the forest floor in a shrub in Karnataka, India. It measures 0.3 inches in length and is grayish-brown, dotted with darker brown spots. A jagged dark line extends up the side of its leaf-shaped and hat-shaped body, dividing a dark back region from a paler underside, further emphasizing the spider's similarity to the foliage where it hides. It is lightly furred, with tiny hairs in shades of white and light yellow. The spider is nocturnal, and just like the pink katydids we talked about earlier, it is a master of mimicry, blending in with dead foliage to avoid predators. It seems that Oryvixia gryffindori has a selective diet. It does not eat all the insects that fall into his net, but only some of them. Oryvixia gryffindori is the most recent and possibly the most well-known of the 21 species of the genus Oryvixia. These spiders reside mostly in the tropical regions of Asia. Number 4. Ilacmi tibini. Of the many types of arthropods on the planet, centipedes and millipedes rank highly among the smallest, the ugliest, and the yuckiest of all creatures. Truth be told, not a single species of millipede actually has 1,000 legs. Most millipede species belong to the order Polydesmata and sport 62 legs. The record-setting number of legs for a millipede species is 750, held by Ilacmi plini pes. This new species, named Ilacmi tibini, was discovered in California's Sequoia National Park. Ilacmi tibini has several features that'll make you squirm, with one feature being a truly shocking standout. This creature has 4 penises, which double as legs to help it move about underground. Yes, you heard that right. Hence, when it is not using any one of its penis to walk around, it is employing them to shoot sperm into the females. Ilacmi tibini, a tiny thread-like millipede, has 414 legs, much higher than the average for a millipede. These tiny millipedes lack pigmentation and they possess oddly designed mouthparts that suggest that they feed exclusively on fungi. When it was discovered, it was preserved in ethanol for later DNA research, which revealed it to be a close relative of the previously mentioned Ilacmi plini pes. Ilacmi tibini has 200 poison glands, excreting a novel chemical substance not otherwise described in scientific research. The one thing this creature doesn't have an abnormally high number of is eyes. It's completely blind. This animal is wrapped up in thin hairs that secrete a silky residue, unique from its poison, making it decisively one of the strangest arthropods on the planet. What is amazing is that these animals have existed probably for as long as 100 million years, and yet we know so little about them. Such creatures must have a highly developed intraskeletal and intramuscular system, which allows their innumerable tiny legs to move in harmony, thereby allowing for synchronous movement. Number 5. Potamotragon rex. Freshwater stingrays can be found in a number of tropical regions around the world. Several species of freshwater stingray, belonging to the genus Potamotragon, live in the rivers of South America. Stingrays have barbed stingers, which they use for protection. However, they are docile creatures and generally avoid conflict. They don't seek out humans to attack, though there are cases where people have had lethal run-ins. Steve Irwin, the famous crocodile hunter, was killed by an ocean stingray's barb going through his chest in September 2006. Potamotragon rex was discovered in Brazil's Tocantins River. The Tocantins River is a petri dish of exotic life. An amazing 35% of fish species found in the river can't be found anywhere else on Earth. Potamotragon rex is an impressive 1.1 meters in length and can weigh upwards of 20 kilograms. The stingray is colored with blackish-brown hues, spotted by striking circles of yellow and orange. These features led to its eventual naming of rex, Latin for king. According to the researchers, venom from stingrays, which are up to 2 years old, especially females, is found to be more potent and capable of causing acute pain. Number 6. Scolopendra cataracta. Scolopendra cataracta was found in Southeast Asia, and there have only ever been 4 specimens collected. 2 in Laos, one in Thailand, and a misidentified centipede, found in Vietnam in 1928, that sat idle in the Natural History Museum in London. This new species is the first centipede ever discovered to be amphibious, hunting in both land and water. Scolopendra cataracta is a carnivore and can potentially reach a colossal 20 centimeters or 8 inches in length. Centipedes are venomous, and the bigger the centipede, the more painful its bite. Its bite won't kill you, but it will be painful and could potentially sting for weeks. Scientists believe Scolopendra cataracta stretches its legs and its appetite at night, hunting beneath the water. It can swim powerfully like an eel, with horizontal undulations of its body. When it returns to land, the water rolls off its body, leaving it totally dry. Number 7. Plenister craigie. This is a creature most people probably won't come across in their lifetimes. In fact, some of you may wonder if this thing is even an animal at all. Plenister craigie is a new species of sponge found more than 4,000 meters below the surface of the Pacific Ocean. There are 15,000 species of sponge, one of the earliest animal life forms on the planet, dating back more than 500 million years. Scientists have found that not only do sponges share a primitive common ancestor with other animals, but they also demonstrate immune systems and coordinated movement, putting them squarely in the animal category. 2 expeditions to the depths of the Pacific in 2013 and 2015 yielded the discovery of Plenister craigie. It was found in the Clarion-Clipperton Zone, a large stretch of the Pacific, ranging roughly from Hawaii to Mexico. The sponges are tiny, yet they are also ubiquitous. Scientific inquiry suggests they are among the most common creatures at their depths. They live on metal-rich nodules that are viewed as potential havens for future deep-sea mining. They contain no mouths and instead possess tiny pores that take in water. The water continues to be pumped and filtered through chambers in the sponge by flagellated cells lining the sponge walls. The organisms feed on bacteria filtered in this process. The Plenister craigie family are hermaphroditic organisms that can reproduce either sexually or asexually. In sexual reproduction, sperm is expelled from the sponge and released into the current. The female sponges in the current capture the sperm and fertilization takes place in the female sponge. Asexual reproduction is carried out by budding and outward growth due to cell division. Another strategy for propagation of some species occurs as a process of regeneration. When fragmentation of a sponge occurs, the organism has the capacity to regenerate its biomass. The growth rate of a fragmented segment of an organism is faster than that of an intact organism. Plenister craigie have been named after their abundant stars inside their bodies, Plenister, and the leader of the 2 successful survey expeditions, Professor Craig Smith, of the University of Hawaii. Anyways, that is all for this video. I hope you had a good time. Please smash that like button and subscribe to this channel for more. Thank you and take care.